Alrighty, folks, this is the Wolf of Roto Street Journal, where we feed and breed fantasy wolves. We're here for day 2 of the Daily Draft Wizard. I'm going to try to get these every single weekday, Monday through Thursday, right around 5 p.m., where we customize drafts to your needs. And I'm going to start today with an 11-spot PPR draft for our guy, Jimbo Slice. He requested that we hit that 11 spot. 3 receivers, 1 flex. You can see I already got it all set up. But of course, comment in, like, and if you share and comment in your needs, I'd be happy to do a mock draft. If you don't already know your position, you just have one you're intrigued to see, you want to see me do the top of the draft, hit me up, let me know, and we're going to just talk about my favorite players, favorite strategies as I do these drafts, and hopefully get some feedback from you. Comment in, hit me up with some hate. Before I go, I do want to just quickly plug, we had Adam Schefter, yes, the ESPN god, the most connected man in the NFL, on our podcast just a couple days ago. If you go to ffbdpod.com/Schefter or /90, you can get those episode notes. Again, ffbdpod.com/90 will get you our Adam Schefter interview. So if you haven't heard that yet, it's one of the most proud things I've ever been to be able to interview a guy like that, and I think it came out fantastic. You guys got to hear that one. Let's get into the mock drafts. Our boy Heathrow is back, which just gets me all excited. Good to see you, my man. We are back for 2019. Glad to see you're back for the Wolfpack as well. We're going to get this draft started. And we're going to go. So again, as it's loading, if you're just tuning in, the 11 spot in a PPR draft with 3 wide receivers and a flex. Sorry if it gets a little laggy while it loads. That's happened a couple times now. But here we go. Draft is loading. And once it gets loaded, the technical difficulties should smooth themselves out. Hopefully, yesterday we experienced a few for the first one. We see Todd Gurley go at the top. That's not typically what you're seeing these days. In these leagues anymore. But now we got David Johnson at 11. I mean, I'm not ever going to turn that down. He's now, and I will say it's a good talking point now that we're here. David Johnson has secured that 5th overall spot. It might even move up to 4 or 3 if these holdouts and all that stuff with Zeke and whatnot continue. So 72% for David Johnson. He's a no-brainer. He's locked into my 5th guy. We're so all in on the air raid. How could you not be all in on the stallion in the backfield behind there? So Jimbo, you're probably not getting David Johnson, but there's no way if he was sitting there, I wouldn't take it off. Jordan Deet, I'm glad that you're taking a dump and coming on in. This is definitely better than reading, so comment away. Hopefully your dump's not too painful. It goes nice and clean and smooth for you. Fantastic content, as always, from the Wolfpack. And then Michael Thomas is a seeming no-brainer. I actually like Odell Beckham more. I do love to get a workhorse and a wide receiver in those first 2 rounds. I love to balance it out. I think the tiers of wide receivers really drops. Even though I do love Dalvin Cook, I love James Conner. I got to get myself, especially in PPR. I know you're full PPR, Jimbo. I'm going to go with my number 3 wide receiver here, and that's Odell Beckham. I like him just a little more than Mike Thomas. If you need to know why, please let me know. I just think the Baker connection, Baker was describing him and saying, I've never played with a guy like this before in my career. Odell's saying, I've never had a QB with an arm this strong. It's just a beautiful marriage. They're all just kind of sucking each other off, and it seems perfect right now, and I absolutely love the ceiling of the most explosive wideout in the game with a QB like Baker Mayfield. He's been rotting with Eli and still just dominating, so it's insane. I love that Aaron Jones fell here. He's probably going to be my pick. I'm probably going to agree with the experts. Do love to take a little gander, not going to look at QBs. Marlon Mack and Aaron Jones is an interesting one, and Jones these days, I'm going to write an article about him later tonight, definitely rising up the big board. 1, Jamal Williams has been out with a hamstring. 2, he's been thriving as a wide receiver. They're saying that Matt LaFleur is moving him all over the place, that he's hitting the jugs every day. And he already was a pretty good wide receiver, but he's so good in space, so dangerous, such an explosive guy that I really like Aaron Jones here. Devonta Freeman carrying on, that's like the next tier. If you're between Aaron Jones and Marlon Mack at running back, I look at the wide receivers, and I hope one of Cooks or Woods fall to me. I do like Godwin. He's rising on my board, but I'm not quite as high as all the experts who are blowing him. So I'm hoping one of Cooks and Woods falls. If not, I like Golladay too. So I'm going to feel confident. I really have these running backs in a tier above. I'm going to go Aaron Jones. And if Marlon Mack fell, I'd have a real hard time passing him up, even though my wide receivers would be a little shaky. I love building a stable. You all know that. So we got Robert Woods here. 53% of the guy I was hoping to fall at wide receiver. I do still love a lot of these running backs, but as we saw last night, we had David Montgomery, Chris Carson, some of those guys falling to rounds 5 and 6. Sorry again for the technical difficulties. It's not, the best internet in this place, but I think we're finally figured out. I got a little extender and stuff. So I'm going to take the bet on Woods. It's a 3 wide receiver league. Your wide receivers would be real shaky if you don't get a guy like that. And I'm going to hope, all of these running, Derrick Henry's there, though. Ooh, that makes things a little more interesting. He's about 25 on my big board. You know what? I didn't see that the freight train was there. I have to go with him and just punt the wide receivers for now. You're not passing that up. Even though draft-wise, I'm sure there's going to be some 5th, 6th round runners that land, and I'm going to probably love just as much. You can't pass up the freight train as your 3rd running back. Jimbo, this stable, I see your comment, DJ's available 11, you'd come? Yeah, I'm coming too with this running back stable. You have a 3rd running back as Derrick Henry. You got Aaron Jones, and you got fucking David Johnson. I'm going to pause this video real quick and just hit the corner and just kind of shoot a quick one out. It won't take long with that running back stable. So let's look at what wide receivers are now available to us. Just kind of came in my pants a little, and that's fine with me. Tyler Boyd is a name I really want to talk about quickly. With A.J. Green out, that's not actually a positive. Some people, and most receivers even, they kind of bounce up with the bigger target share, but he dropped dramatically. He's the number 2 type of receiver that does not improve when the number 1 guy's out. He really benefits from the space that A.J. Green commands from the defensive attention, the double teams. Tyler Boyd needs to be the number 2. He dropped about 5 fantasy points per game without A.J. Green in the lineup, and I don't feel great about him. I do love Robbie Anderson, especially after he created a cum cave in my basement. I guess comes the item of the day that we're going to talk about. But the championship week, you got to have a special place in your heart for somebody that wins you titles. I love Christian Kirk. Calvin Ridley, definitely intriguing in year 2. Let's just see what type of runners did fall, so we can see if we make a huge mistake going Derek. You didn't make a mistake, but look at these guys still here in round 5. I don't know if that's going to be the case, Jimbo, in your league. If you got fucking morons that would have David Montgomery, Mark Ingram, Chris Carson. That's the baffling mystery of them all. It's like, why is Carson getting so disrespected in fantasy? The absolute biggest beast in the biggest ground pie of the entire league, led the league with 33 rush attempts per game. I don't understand. So I might take another runner, but I do need to secure some wide receiver talent too. So maybe, Robert Woods could have been the play, but Derrick Henry still. How do you pass that up? So that's one draft debate, though, as we're going through to keep in mind. Is, again, Derrick Henry, do we go him for our flex right there, or should we have gone Robert Woods with all those running backs falling here? Either way, I'm going to probably start with Calvin Ridley. I think year 2, he takes that leap in this Falcons explosive attack. He had those monster blow-up games week in and week out, and then he'd kind of disappear. If he finds that consistency and kind of steadies out, I'd really like to see what he does. I do love O.J. Howard at 12%. Experts are just all over the place for this pick. I really do like O.J. Howard. I think he gains you a huge edge at tight end, but I still am probably going to take, you know what? Let's see what happens when we take him. Let's see what else is available. O.J. Howard, Evan Ingram. You got Big Dick Robbie sitting there. And let's hope Christian Kirk, he's the guy I'm really targeting here. I'm going to hope he falls, and I'm going to gain that humongous edge at tight end with O.J. Howard. I think he's the next elite, the guy that jumps up into that Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz tier. I think it's really going to be O.J. Howard. So let's go him, see what falls to us. And Robbie Anderson's the other guy I'm considering there. So, Jimbo, let me know if you would have gone something different. Heathrow, Damian Williams, as these guys are kind of loading. I fully agree. I love Damian Williams. I don't think he's going to be a sleeper, though. I don't think anyone's sleeping on him at this point. He's kind of falling into that round 2 to 3 range, that turn right there, which I think is great value. I'd take him right around the first, second turn. So I'm about 12 spots higher on the experts. I think he is a bona fide RB1, 10 touchdowns in 6 games last year. To me, that's just monstrous. So I am a big fan. Now look at the wide receivers that have fallen. This is not good. I took O.J. Howard, and now we're looking at maybe D.D. Westbrook, who I do love, intriguing player, as my number 1. We definitely can't look at a quarterback right here. It's way too early still. Running backs have thinned out, though, so I feel pretty good about that stable. I think that's going to carry us all the way, you guys know. So let me see. Here we go. So D.D. Westbrook, I do like. And other than that, man, the receivers are getting ugly, and they're getting ugly fast. So you're looking at your favorite penny stock style guys. Deshaun Jackson forming a really good rapport. I do like Curtis Samuel, all the hype coming out about him. You guys hopefully know at this point how high I am on Dante Moncrief. I think he could explode. But I'm going to lock in my slot weapon here. PPR league, I think he's going to get peppered. Nick Foles loves the slot. His offensive coordinator, John DeFilippo, loves to pepper the slot. So let's get D.D. Westbrook. I think he could really break out. We're going to kind of piece together some of my favorite sleepers at wide receiver and hope a consistent third emerges. Let me just, for those of you just popping in, show you what this team looked like so far. David Johnson somehow fell to 11. Makes no sense. Odell in round 2. Give me that all day. Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry, rounding out a absurd stable that anyone could get off to right here. And if you're jacking off to it right now, I don't blame you. And then you got Calvin Ridley, D.D. Westbrook. So behind Odell, my wide receiver core is shaky. I'm going to make sure to address that throughout the rest of the draft. But you got a huge potential edge gainer in round 6 of O.J. Howard. I'd probably take him mostly in round 5. I have him higher ranked, actually, than Calvin Ridley, but team need dictated I had to go with a receiver there. But now it's all about just kind of loading up on those favorite wide receiver penny stocks, and I'm going to go with Dante Moncrief here. Let me just double check real quick what running backs are there, though. I do like to keep the pace going so I can hit more of you guys, but I do want to also, you got a high floor in Lamar Miller. With my stable right now, I feel pretty damn good. I love Latavius Murray. I mean, I have him way higher than any of these guys, and in fact, these days, oh man, you got Darrell Henderson in round 7, and I don't want to miss on him, so I can't take a guy like MBS, even Moncrief, who I love. I got to get Darrell Henderson. That's kind of the guy that just, if Gurley went down, would be a ridiculous top 5 weekly play, but I think has a ton of standalone value. And we had Adam Schefter, ffbdpod.com/Schefter, on our podcast. He said when he talked to McVay, he couldn't have been more excited about Darrell Henderson, said he was the most explosive offensive player in the draft, and that they had to make sure they went and got him regardless of Gurley's health. I really like Darrell Henderson, so I'm going to go with him. You got to lock in that type of upside in round 7. Latavius Murray, the other guy I was really considering. And this is where it's like, do you reach on wide receivers because it's PPR and you only had 2 or 3 so far and they're not proven, or you just go with the best players? You got to get your upside. So let me keep looking. And then Austin Eckler, with what's going on right now, I would have hoped Latavius Murray fell, but what's going on with Melvin Gordon? he probably will show up, but for right now, he said he supports Le'Veon Bell and what he was doing. And I'm not, look at these wide receivers. Am I going to take Devin Funchess, who I like, touchdown upside? I do like Emmanuel Sanders, looks real good in his recovery. And again, my boy Moncrief is sitting there, and I'm going to hope he falls to me. But you can't pass up Austin Eckler as the potential starter. That's like James Conner level upside because of that offense and how explosive they could be. He could be this year's James Conner. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to go get myself Austin Eckler. Just keep loading this stable up. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that you like the start. I agree. I think it's a fantastic squad. Then my boy Dante Moncrief fell, so I'm going to get him. Now I've got, obviously Odell at the top, I have no questions about. Between Calvin Ridley, D, and Dante Moncrief, I think I'm going to find 2 reliable starters, and I'll keep loading up the position. And PPR, you got like fucking Trey Quinn, who I'll take in a few rounds with 90 catch upside. You just need that 6 catches, 60 yards to get about 12 points. So you can piece together your third receiver. I don't feel bad about what we've done here. And the more and more we go, the deeper I like this. Alrighty, here we go. So then you got, Vance McDonald. This is just insane value. I already have O.J. Howard, but a lot of the beat reporters saying they expect a blow up from him. I'm probably going to consider a quarterback here. Running back, there's still guys I love. Barber, a starter. Carlos Hyde could take over if anything ever happened to Williams. You're looking at a top 10 running back. I'm going to hope he falls. Kalen Ballage, the starter right now in Miami. So still some interesting names, but I've already got 5. I still need some wide receiver help, and I don't have a quarterback yet. At this point, these wide receivers, I don't look at anyone and scream like that guy offers so much more value than, who I could get in 3 rounds. So I can ignore that position, and I'm going to go out and get a guy I absolutely love this year. If this is your first time tuning in, or if it's your 10th and you already know, Kyler Murray, I'm all in on the air raid. I think he explodes, and that's one of those quarterback-running back combinations where you're locking in all the Arizona points, and they might get a couple receiving touchdowns throughout games. That's one of those ones that really genuinely works. When you had like Big Ben and Levy on and they catch a touchdown, or you're getting the touch, you just get all the scoring from this Arizona air raid. So if I'm all in on the air raid, I want to lock up Kyler Murray to pair with David Johnson. I'm getting every point that gets scored by the Cardinals, which I think they're going to go from 14 points scored last year, absolutely pathetic, to right around 28 to 30. That's going to be a fantasy gold mine, and shootouts in that division, I see it happening all day. So I'm going to go Kyler Murray, but then why not take Drew Brees? I think this is an insane value for him. You lock in a nice floor right there. What if they need to go a little more pass happy this year? So I'm going to go with that. Getting some messages from the meat sweats as I'm going. He said he's going to try to tune in, but he's pissed about my James Conner ranking right now. So as some names go, I saw Carlos Hyde, a sleeper I really love. I wish he had fall to me. I think I might go with the Jamal Williams handcuff. I love Justice Hill's upside in a run-heavy Greg Roman attack that I think could end up lighting it up. On the ground at least. I think I'm not going to light it up the scoreboard, but carry after carry after carry. That's an explosive guy. Could get a lot of volume. I don't love any of these running backs. I didn't love any of the wide receivers. So it does make sense to get my handcuffs sooner than later. I mean, you're looking at guys like Philly Rivers. I already got my 2 quarterbacks. I don't really need to go get one, but this is why I always preach wait. Can I say it again? Wait on quarterback. You're looking at some number 1 starters, but I'm not sad about what I did. I waited and I got 2 guys. I love the upside of Kyler Murray, my 2019 Mahomes, and I got Drew Brees to balance out the floor. I'm going to go Jameson Crowder here. I think he comes with a great floor in PPR. It already is rumored to be the focal point of that passing attack in early camp. He's sitting out with a foot injury, but they're saying he's going to be back by Monday. So I like Crowder there as a potential monster target hog. And it's like, do I dare do the fucking Jordan Reed experience again? I mean, we know he's going to get hurt. We know he's going to go down, and I know I have O.J. Howard, but who the hell else are they going to throw to this year? And that's a pretty good amount of upside. I like Greg Olsen. I like Dallas Goedert. So we're looking at some tight ends. I really like Noah Fant. I think that's going to be the guy I go with as my insurance policy to O.J. Howard. He has missed time in multiple seasons now. I do love Albert Wilson, though. I think he's an interesting sleeper as the slot guy in a Patriots-based offense over there in Miami. He could get peppered, and he's got some unbelievable run after the catch ability. Hey, what's going on, Roto Street General? Hey, Wolf. If you haven't already, be sure to check out. Oh, yeah, thanks you. I've already promoted that, CJ. I'm imagining is typing that. It's my goal. I want DJ and Kyler, get them hog roasts going on. I agree. The pig roast, baby. You can get some spit action, and you're just going to always get the touchdowns in an offense that I think is going to blow up this year. So I love what I did there, Jordan. So I'm glad you agree, fellow Wolfpack brother. I'm going to go Justin Hill. I like the upside there. I think that it's such a run-heavy scheme. Mark Ingram has had injury concerns in his career. This guy ran the fastest 40 in the draft. He sent Chris Carson, who we've seen dominate in the NFL, to the bench in college over at Oklahoma State. So I think Justin Hill definitely comes with some intriguing upside. And since this is a mock, I'm not going to take like a defense and a kicker, especially if you're going this early. It makes way more sense to pick up some potential options, like even Jay Ajayi. What if he lands in Tampa Bay, or the Colts, Marlon Mack gets hurt and you suddenly have Jay Ajayi? You want to stack your bench with upside at this point and not waste a pick on a defense unless it was something elite like the Jaguars. So I love Josh Allen. I know I already have 2 QBs, but I'd rather not have my opponents have him. I know I need receivers, and my boy Albert Wilson, who I just raved about, is sitting there. Trey Quinn, I know Andy Isabella, an explosive talent. That might be the guy I go because I already have so many pieces of this air raid. Maybe I just go all in and pick them. I'm going to go Albert Wilson, though. I really like his talent. And I think I'm going to sneak in Jay Ajayi here at the end and just hope he lands with an open backfield and gets a real shot and maybe goes back to Miami or something of that nature. So we draft him. And Jimbo Slice, I'll probably get a D- on this draft because Fantasy Pros doesn't know how to grade. And when you don't take a kicker in defense, it usually shits on your team. But overall, I love what I did there. B. That's probably the best grade I've ever fucking gotten on this thing. So let me screenshot this for you real quick, bud. I love what I did there. So we'll just look one more time at the draft board. You got David Johnson 11, never going to happen. And even Odell in round 2, probably not happening. But Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry right there, back to back. Look at that stable. Get horny. I love it. And then you got Calvin Ridley, O.J. Howard. I love the edge of O.J. Howard in round 6. I can't believe that he fell all that way. I probably should have taken him here in round 5 just to make sure I had him. And then D.D. Westbrook, a fantastic slot weapon. Dante Moncrief. I just got to get 2 of these wide receivers. That's really the only questions here is between Ridley, Westbrook, and Moncrief. Can 2 of those 3 guys emerge? And if not, you find, Trey Quinn, Albert Wilson, Crowder. At PPR, you just need like 5 to 6 catches from your third guy for 40 to 50 yards. You get a nice 10 points, and you're okay with that. I don't need a crucial guy, and that's, Crowder can do that for me. Albert Wilson might do that for me. Not Adam Humphries, that's for fucking damn sure. So that's the first squad. Is there any others we have out there? Anybody else request? I've seen some comments I missed there. Jordan Reed, Puke. Yeah, I agree, Jimmy. I didn't end up doing that, so I'm not with you there. And then drafted Jay Ajayi. What's plus share? I don't know what that says. Plus share for. Oh, you shared the post. Thank you, Jimbo, for sharing this, and anybody else that is willing to share it. I guess Facebook tells you when you share it now. And I really appreciate it. But is there any other drafts people want done out there? I know my boy Dan, the Meat Sweats, has the 5th overall pick, and that's one that gets hotly debated. Is what do you do at 5? It's a half PPR draft, so I'll do that one. But Jimbo, I love that squad we came out with today. If you have David Johnson, Aaron Jones, and Derrick Henry at your running back spots, even in PPR, I get Derrick Henry isn't, as special as he would be in a half or a standard. That's still ridiculous. So I'll do one more random draft. If there's any requests, please send them in. I'm happy to take requests. That's kind of the point of this, is to customize them and help you guys out. I know some of you might not know your draft orders yet. As they come in, let me know. But I'm going to go 5th right here for the Meat Sweats to give him a few names. Actually, no, I'll randomize it, and I got 2nd. Let's just do a top of the draft. We haven't done one of those. We had 8, we had 11. We've had kind of that like hovering in the bottom of the draft. So I'll do that. Yeah, the team is sexy as hell, Jimbo. So get your lotion out and have some fun with yourself later. So we'll do a top of the draft, 2nd overall pick. So one thing I wanted to ask you guys as this one's loading is, do you prefer auction or snake drafts? So my league's in kind of like a hot debate right now, which one's better, and I think we're going to decide on actually alternating. As the draft loads, I know I get a little glitchy, so please be patient with that. But that's what we're deciding right now as a league is, do we go auction, do we go snake, do we alternate year in and year out? And that's kind of what I hope we do, is alternate, because I love both ways of drafting. I do understand that the auctions, like, you get your guys, but at the same time, just the stickers on the board, and you kind of have your locked in spot. You don't have to worry about, yes, you worry about people stealing your guys, but every single pick is a battle in auction. It's stressful. So I like alternating. I think it shows different styles of play. So we're going to start here at 2, and I'm going to go Kamara. He's actually number 1 on my big board so long as Zeke is holding out here. I hope I put it as half. I think I did. So we're going to go Alvin. I think just a touchdown scoring machine. And, you remove Mark Ingram, and Latavius Murray gets added. Yeah, he's great. As a touchdown scorer, he's going to vulture some TDs, but he's not the talent of Mark Ingram. And so I think Alvin Kamara, his splits last year without Mark Ingram, I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. I just know it was the most historic fantasy season that would have ever been recorded in PPR. He had like 110 catch pace, like 20 touchdowns. It was insane what that guy was doing in the first 4 weeks. So if he can stay somewhat close to that, I would love him for sure. Keep Gurley or Stephon Diggs, Johnny Goodtime. I like that question, Johnny. You might have hit me up on Twitter recently, now that you're saying this, and I was trying to remember where I saw that question about Gurley or Diggs. To me, you got to weigh, is there any draft penalty first, or are you just kind of keeping the best player available? In that opinion, I know all the risk and all the down talk on Gurley right now. I'm not buying it. I think it's a bunch of fucking baloney. I think, it's going to end up turning to be a lot worry about nothing. I think this is a guy that has been the top scoring running back in back-to-back seasons of fantasy. That hasn't happened in 15 years because he's the goal line hammer in the league's most elite offense. He's a fantastic screen receiver in the league's screen-heaviest game. He's an amazing zone runner in the league's zone-heaviest running system. It's just a perfect fit of talent and opportunity and usage. Yeah, Darrell Henderson will eat away a little bit more, more. Malcolm Brown might be more involved. Yeah, the knees are a long-term concern, but I think especially for just a 1 year, like what are you worrying about? I'm all about Gurley. A lot of experts are burying him and saying nope, but I'm in the train where, it's Todd Gurley, and you keep him, and it's going to be a lot about worry for nothing. Quick sip of water. I got these new lights, which is awesome. Hopefully, I don't know if you guys have noticed, like the setup looks a little bit better, but I'm using these professional lights, which are amazing, but I also feel like I'm in a fucking tanning bed this entire time. So these are the sacrifices I make for you, Wolfpack. Need some water real quick. All right, top of the draft. So now you're looking at, I want to reiterate the fact that I love coming out of the first 2 rounds with 1 horse and 1 wide receiver most of the time. And I do see 2 potential target hogs. I like Keenan Allen as well, but Mike Evans and Antonio Brown higher than those other tier of wide receivers. Personally, I like Brown. I think Mike Evans is in a better overall offense, but he has more competition for targets. I think Antonio Brown, he's my bet if I had to put money on who leads the league in targets this year. I think it's going to be Antonio Brown. So I go with Antonio Brown. I'm going to draft him. Apparently the website doesn't like my pick on Gurley there. He pukes. But Johnny Goodtimes, just remember, you heard it here first. When Gurley gives you another 20 touchdown season, you're going to be happy. And I love Diggs, one of the best route runners in the game, but that's the Gurley show. So now becomes the question of what else do you do at the top of the draft? I've got my target hog. I've got my workhorse. So who comes next? It's certainly not going to be Leonard Fournette. I think that's a very aggressive ranking of Leonard Fournette. I actually want to see real quick, where did Damian Williams go? Because that's one of the few running backs. Williams and Cook. Ooh, that hurts. So Chubb, Williams, and Cook. I love that tier of running backs, especially Dalvin Cook and Damian Williams. I would have loved to see one of them fall to me. That would have been just sickening. You would have seen something white and creamy just burst into the first out of the screen right here if I got Damian Williams or Dalvin Cook there. But I'm not looking at Leonard Fournette. I do like Marlon Mack. I like Aaron Jones even more. I love Derrick Henry. I think you all know that at this point. But to me, I think the value might be getting another one of these wide receivers. We saw last time how fast they drop and how many quality running backs. I'm going to test out going a receiver here. I love Keenan Allen. The guy's just so consistent. The number 1 target in this. I mean, the Kittle edge is very real at this point, but I think he's due for regression. I love him as a player, but I think he's due for regression. So I here would go Keenan Allen. And I'm going to see what kind of running backs fall back to me. I have a feeling I'm going to go running back like Chris Carson and David Montgomery or Philip Lindsay. I've seen a lot of those guys falling to rounds 4 and 5. So let's see here. They love Chris Godwin here. But I just called it. Lindsay, Montgomery, and Chris Carson. All 3 of them are here. So now I have that decision to make is which ones of these 3 do you go? To me, it's going to be Philip Lindsay. It's going to be the guys I've seen get it done. It's going to be Philip Lindsay, and then if one of, Carson and Montgomery both still there, Montgomery brings that 3-down upside a little bit more than Carson, but I've seen Carson dominate already, and we don't know how involved Tariq Cohen will be. We don't know if Mike Davis is going to ever rotate in, so until I have a little more clarity on him, I'll go the guy that I've seen just dominate week in and week out, and that's Chris Carson. I think he's got every ability to just continue to roll this year. Hey, well, great job with Schefter. Van Eggs, great job with Schefter as well, man. Couldn't have done that shit without you. And your contributions to RSJ are always top-notch, so I can't thank you enough for that. So let's continue going down this list. Got my stable of 3 running backs, so let's kind of show you where we're at as a team here. For 2 spot went Kamara, my number 1 overall player. Brown, Keenan Allen, locking in a couple target hogs, and then 2 horses. I love this start to a draft. I mean, the top of the draft, if this is what's going to happen, then you can get your lotion out and get ready because the number 2, 3, those picks are going to be a lot more invaluable. But now, some of the targets I would have had there in terms of Christian Kirk, I love that wide receiver play. I do want to get my 3rd wide receiver here and maybe a tight end. Let's see if there's any edge gainers. And Hunter Henry and Jared Cook are both edge gainers. I want to check and see, and this is kind of a draft day strategy, is the guy in front of me does he already have a tight end? And he doesn't. So there's a good chance he's going to take one, and I love both of those guys, so now it's a matter of which one do you like more. I have Keenan Allen, and I want to differentiate my team a little bit more rather than going all in on the Chargers because, we have one bad week and flop. I'd be in some trouble. We don't know exactly what shape Hunter Henry's going to be in, so give me Jared Cook. I'm going to gain that edge. I see Baker here at the top of the draft. And you guys know me. I'm not a guy that reach out. Well, there he goes. So it won't matter anyways. But he's my number 3 quarterback. If that late for Baker Mayfield, if he was there in round 6, maybe I redo that one. Maybe I take Baker instead of Cook. But I always wait on quarterback, and it's never failed me. It's not a strategy I feel like really abandoning anytime soon. And now I want to kind of come away with my 3rd wide receiver. I mean, Kenyon Drake's an intriguing pick here, but I am nervous. I'll admit it. I'm nervous that Kalen Ballage getting the first carries with the first team in early OTAs right now. Maybe, you know what? When you draft Kamara, especially, you've really got to get your Latavius Murray handcuff. You got to lock in that Saints backfield. So round 7, and that's where I always go. Where is he? Darrell Henderson, too, though. And let's see what type of wide receivers. Will Fuller, is he gone? Yeah, he's gone. I would have said Will Fuller might have made a nice addition here. I'm not looking at these wide receiver 3s. Sterling Shepard, Marvin Jones, D.D. Westbrook. I do love Larry Fitz, so maybe that's the guy too. So let's pull up the 3 I'm considering in round 7 here. Not looking, as much as I like Matt Ryan, I'm not looking at quarterback yet. I'm considering either getting my handcuff, Latavius Murray, getting one of Fitzgerald or Shepard for my wide receiver 3. Shepard broke his thumb, but now with Golden Tate gone for the first 4 games, he has a chance to really, truly establish himself as that dominant alpha hog. Or do I just go the guy I love, the talent I love, the guy that Schefter said they were enamored with, and that's Darrell Henderson. So the safe pick is probably my handcuff. The upside pick is probably Darrell Henderson. Non-secure. What the fuck? Non-secure. What is this? All right, we're back. I don't know what that was. Sorry, we got a quick little technical hiccup. Don't leave, folks. I'm still here. But those are the guys. Larry Fitz, Latavius Murray, and Darrell Henderson. Sorry about that little technical hiccup. Not sure what that was about. But we're back. So thanks for sticking through it. This is tough. I'm going to side right now with Darrell Henderson. Roll with him. It's the upside. I can't pass on that potential right now. Let's hope. Oh, there goes Larry Fitz. I'm gonna say let's hope Larry Fitz, Westbrook. These are some of the guys I would have loved as my wide receiver 3. My handcuff is still there. I'm gonna lock in my handcuff now, and now I'm kind of set at running back. I don't know if I need to look too much more at the position for the rest of the draft. I got my upside tight end here. So now it's about securing my QB, which it's going to be tough to pass up on Kyler. I would hate to see him get picked when I think he's going to be this year's Mahomes. And I don't look at any of these wide receivers and look at them as must drafts quite yet. So let's get myself Kyler Murray, my guy. Lock him in, make sure I get the guys I love. That's why I took Henderson. That's why I took Murray. Lock in all the upside. Rashad Penny, a great pick, falling as far as he did. I think Tevin Coleman was a good value as these names are coming off the board. And now it's about, let's get me my wide receiver 3. What upside options do we have here? I mean, I'm hoping Moncrief's there. It doesn't look like he is. Nope, he is gone. I do like John Brown. He's kind of emerging as the number 1 there. This is just gross, though. So my wide receiver 3 here, going to be disgusting. I've kind of decided I'm going to punt that. Devin Funchess, some touchdown upside. I love Paris Campbell. It's a little disappointing to me that he's gone. One of my favorite rookies. DK Metcalf is starting to go higher. I would have liked to see him there. I've already talked about how I do love Crowder, though, in half PPR and full PPR. So let me check out this list of wide receivers. Don't love any of it. And then Jared Goff's still sitting there. There's tons of quarterbacks, though, for my QB2 that I'd be happy with. I think Goff is in a tier above those guys, though. So I'm going to go and get my number 2 quarterback, lock in my backup to Kyler Murray in case he doesn't work out. And now let's start looking at some of these wide receivers. I personally am going to check out Jameson Crowder. He's been the best player on the field according to camp reports while he's out there. And so I'm thinking he's going to be a PPR force. Jalen Samuels going that late. Whew. That was a great value. That's something I might want to reconsider and take mental note. Jalen Samuels there. That's one that you don't want to get by you this late in the draft. I talked about how I like John Brown and how he might be that number 1. for the Buffalo Bills. It's a deep ball-centric offense. And Josh Allen averaging the most air yards per attempt last year. And now what an unbelievable deep threat there. In terms of Smokey Brown, one of the best in the game, still got those Jets. So I think he could really thrive there. I think it's going to be a great late-round pick. He's a guy I wouldn't be shocked if he caught a touchdown in the preseason and everybody's like, oh, John Brown, going to be a perfect fit there. And when you have, again, Brown and Keenan Allen, almost no risk with your top two, you can make moves like this. Who would I have changed here for a wide receiver? I don't really know. I didn't love any of this range, and Chris Carson is so high on my big board, same with Lindsay, that, you know what, I have no regrets with this. Maybe with Christian Kirk where he went, but ultimately, I really like this start. So now I'm going to keep loading up on wide receivers. I got Jared Cook, so I might take a backup tight end. Jordan Reed's already got the puke face in this conversation. I really think there's some upside there. Let me check the wide receivers, though. I'm going to look for another Redskin that I think could be an absolute PPR force. I just drafted Jameson Crowder, and I think this is the heir apparent to his job, and that's Trey Quinn. I think is going to be a PPR monster. So at this part of the year, the draft, I should say. Someone just texted me about my school year. It pops up on my computer over there, so far away for now. I don't want to think, Donta Foreman's there? Fuck. I'm going to revert that shit. So, Donta Foreman, I said I haven't even been looking at the running backs because I've loaded up on the position so early, but guys like Donta Foreman I saw going there. I saw a bunch of the names that I really love late at running back. So you can never just cross the position off, and I love stacking my bench with upside running backs. Justice Hill, one of my favorites, has already been taken, unfortunately. None of these guys. I do like Alex Madison, the handcuff to Dalvin Cook. I think that's a fantastic bet. We've seen Dalvin Cook go down time and time again. I've already got a bunch of upside wide receivers. So, is it the Deebo Samuel show in San Fran? He's an interesting guy. Could Randall Cobb become a PPR force, especially with Zeke holding out? Maybe it becomes more of a pass-centric offense. So, still some intriguing upside talent here. I'm going to go with my backup tight end, though. Greg Olsen, the old man is getting forgotten. I know he's been very injury-prone, but I'll burn the pick on him and see what happens. I really like going with Madison, that, as I mentioned, the handcuff upside to Dalvin Cook. Could potentially carve out the goal line hammer roll there. So I'm a fan of that. And is that going to wrap up the draft? How many more picks do we have here? Oh, yeah, the kickers are starting to go. So I think this draft is just about over. Not going to worry about a defense. I'd rather give you guys one last sleeper. So that running back, not a ton I feel the need to reach for. And then wide receiver has become disgusting, but why not go Quincy Enunwa? If it's not Crowder, maybe it'll be him. I don't know if I love the idea of carrying two disgusting Jets. Andy Isabella, let's get him. Let's get a little piece of the air raid, a cheap late piece that could come in and make, a Cooper Kupp-style rookie impact. They made sure they went and got this guy. He's so fast and versatile. You move him inside, outside. Nice C+. That means this team is probably the best one I've drafted. I don't think I loved it quite as much as I loved the one I drafted, Jimbo Slice there. But I don't hate this team. I certainly don't consider it a C+. Let's kind of go down the draft one last time, and I'm going to get out of here. I got tacos to get. I don't know where my boy Denny Jennings is, but he eats like tacos for breakfast. So, Denny, I hope you tune in, and if you do, make sure you comment and DM me and let me know that you've been back with the Wolfpack. Let's look at this draft. Josh Allen going undrafted, I think, is insane. I think it's a great value. It's probably one of the first guys I'd look at the waiver wire. Kamara, my number one player. Two target hogs right here. Would have loved to see one of these guys fall, Dalvin Cook or Damian Williams, but they didn't. They were right before me. That's kind of like those heartbreakers where you just watch it happen to you. You're just like, shit, I want Damian Williams. One of them. Dalvin Cook, Damian Williams. Just one of them. Boom, boom. The two picks right before they go. But I'm not too mad about it when you get a guy like Phillip Lindsay this late in round 4 and Chris Carson somehow falling to round 5. I think both those guys guys are right here in this third round range. So I think I'm absolutely getting a premium on running back talent there. I love that first 5 picks. Jared Cook, an intriguing potential tight end edge. Him or Hunter Henry was who I was considering there. I went Darrell Henderson and Latavius Murray as huge upside running backs in terms of the ultimate handcuffs with benefits. I think both of them, Latavius Murray, the touchdown upside, 32 touchdowns over the last 3 years. Only Todd Gurley has more in that span. And then Darrell Henderson, the most explosive player in the draft, according to Sean McVay. So, I trust McVay's evaluation of talent. So those are the two, I think they're going to have some value on their own. And then if anybody ever went down, you're looking at a top 3 running back, either one of them. I got my guy Kyler Murray and a fantastic backup in Jared Goff, 2 huge upside QBs. In case Murray doesn't pan out, you got to make sure you get a high floor behind him. And I think Goff, year 3 in the McVay system, as high of a floor as you can get. And then just load it up. I don't have a good wide receiver 3. That's a clear miss of this team, but I didn't love any of the wide receivers going in this range. I consider most of them, the next round. I like D.D. Westbrook, but these guys 40 spots higher than any of these wide receivers on my board. I know I contemplated Larry Fitz right here, and that's one that maybe I'd go back and do over. But you're hoping for one of these guys in a half PPR to catch 6-7 balls between Crowder or Quinn, John Brown, some deep ball upside. I think I'll find one. Then a little upside backup tight end in Greg Olsen. The guy's gotten it done before. All right, folks, there's 2 daily draft wizards for you. One from the 2 spot, one from the 11, kind of opposite ends of the draft. 1 pick in, 1 pick in. So hopefully that's helpful and illuminated some stuff. You learned some strategies, some players I like. Hopefully are on your radar if they weren't already. As you can see, Kyler Murray. You're starting to see some of those same players emerge every draft. Darrell Henderson, Kyler Murray, Chris Carson in those middle rounds. I'm starting to end up with a lot of these guys late. You see Trey Quinn in almost every draft. So take note of some of these guys that I'm all in on, and then this year I think those guys will really pan out for you. Jordan, peace out to you, my man. You're the man. Are you off the toilet yet? Have you survived your dump? I hope so. Until next time, guys, tomorrow, 5 to 6, we'll be right back. I need some requests, though. Hit me up. Send it to me. Let me know, where I can help you out. That's why I want to do this. All right, guys, thanks again. And until next time, the Wolf is out.